guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about one of my favorite topics on jewelry making. It's wet and dry paper. I'm always so happy when I get to that hardware store and I see all those wet and dry papers there aligned, and it's just like, so yeah, I know I'm a weirdo, but I bought recently a few sponges and I was like, why not to talk about this topic? Because it's my jam, really. I love wet and dry paper. And today I will be talking more about how I'm using it, like what is working for me, because it will be more, I don't know, maybe more useful for you just to have clear idea, because I can give you a clear idea how I'm using. And yeah, I think we have to jump into the subject. You see, it's already making me excited. Okay, what we have with wet and dry. Wait. So today I will clarify my favorite grids I'm working and until what kind of grid and from what kind of grid I'm starting to work. So we will talk about everything today. Wet and dry paper actually you can use for a lot of different reasons. The most easy and simple way without any fussing about it, you can just like take wet and dry paper, put it on your desk, which is flat already, and make your piece flat. It's the easiest way how to do it. You can choose whatever grip you want. So yeah, it's easy, effective, and I really do always use it. I have on all of my tables, wet and dry. It's just, I can show you, I really do like to use it that way. Sometimes I'm just like ripping a bit of it and going to my piece if I need to do it by hand. It's the rarest occasion I'm doing that now, but sometimes you really need to go with your fingers and have like, you know, just a bit of it and fold it that way, put your piece in and just work it with your fingers and hands. I really like to do that if I have a lot of time. Sometimes I'm like sitting with my piece and it's just like, you know, going like this. But what I can tell you that a lot of things depends on your pressure. Yes, we have grids. We have different kind of grids. We have, with me, I have 240, which was my favorite one to work with. Now I think I'm switching to 320, but you know, it's just like, it's like that. But these are my favorite grids to work on. And of course, 1000. And 1000 is the last grid I'm working on. I really hate those fine ones. I really do. Sorry, fine ones. But I have different polishing stuff for like going further. So yeah, about that we will talk about on another video of mine. So yeah, let's keep it simple here. Wet and dry paper. As I was saying, your finishes or your mark removing process really depends with your pressure when you're putting with your hands. If you're going with hands, it doesn't matter what you will take, actually, the sponge or you will take the paper, it actually still will be more if you're pushing that on the piece more. Like the pressure makes it to grab more, so you really have to feel it. That's why I love wet and dry paper to work with, because you actually can really feel the piece, how it's going. You can put less pressure on it or more pressure on it, and the piece will talk with you in that making process. So I really enjoy to use that. If you remove your marks already, maybe you want to just switch on grids. So sponge will help you to do that. You would put wet and dry paper like on the table and you push your piece and you will polish that until you reach that flat point. But with the sponge, you will cover all that piece. It really depends what you are looking for or what you need. Sometimes if you want to leave that raw finish more, or like to leave few marks in it, and maybe that piece should be like wobbly, so the sponge will do that for you. When it comes to wet and dry, Why it's so nice? You can get away with like few grids actually. I know in the stores we see from, I don't know, 80 to, you can find even 5,000. I saw one time. It's like, it's really like a paper, you know? Who needs that stuff? Okay, but when it comes to wet and dry, when you use it, it becomes like finer grit. Let's say I'm using 320 grit, and when I will be working more with the sponge, it will become 600. If you don't push that much, it doesn't break. It really doesn't. First few years when I was working, sponges were breaking on me, but now it's not, because I'm like really controlling my pressure, and you know, I'm feeling more the piece because I'm in a jewelry world now 5 years, so it does justice. So it really comes with the practice. Favorite ones on sponges, I'm going 240, 320, 100 grit. It depends on the brand for sure, because sometimes you get like 240 and it can look really nicely made, not scratchy that much surface. When I'm bending, I really see the quality of the paper because it doesn't break abrasive. So you really have to look for this kind of quality. I had 3M1s as well as a paper. It's really good quality, but I haven't noticed that much of a difference when it comes to like my regular one I use, but probably is the good brand as well. So I had really bad wet and dry paper. Let me show you. I think I have it. I have it even on the sponge actually. This is really crappy sponge. You can see that. It breaks not that quickly. I use that a lot actually, but it's just really coarsely made. So what do you expect from that actually? So it will break for sure. Oh, I have like a new one, like 600. Look at that. It's just so fine and so nice when you roll it. I really like wet and dry. I will show you the difference, how abrasive paper could be different. I don't have the same grid. I have here 400 and here is 320, yes. So it is different how they are even looking like. With this one, if I bend it, you already can see how it's breaking the abrasive. You can even see through the paper under. And it's really like, you know, 2 turns and it becomes kind of naked, you know? We don't want that from our abrasive wet and dry. And with this one, with better quality, it's not the best quality, but it's better. We can do the same, but we can see that abrasive is breaking, you know? Just the paper is bending, but abrasive is not breaking. Even 2 times, you don't see any paper coming through. So that's how you know how that paper is good or not. And I bought a lot of new one. You know, I'm so like happy. I found really thick one under, so I will try that out. It looks really promising. But you know, I bought a thin one and thick one because it depends what I need from that wet and dry. You know, with wet and dry, you can be very experimental and creative as well when it comes to finishes, how you finish your jewelry piece and how you take your marks out. It's just, it gets in everywhere, you know, it really does, because you can be as sharp as you want with your wet and dry. Like if you bend it and you have that edge and it's really sharp, you can really have even adjustment in your bendings or something just to make that more sharply and accurate. So yeah, what else you can make from wet and dry? I don't have it with me now, but you can make your saw blades. I talked a bit of that when I was talking about my saw frames in that video. If you have the holding for blades like this, like a vise, you can put that wet and dry in like a stick and use it to uniform your piece. If you have cut your pieces inside and you want to correct them, so that is really nice way to do that. I'm very creative and I want different stuff to make, so I'm not like holding on one style of making. So now I'm not using that much of that like a saw blade, but when I need to cut something inside, it's really effective and it really works. My most favorite thing from wet and dry, what you can make yourself, which I talked about before in my videos as well, but you can make wet and dry sticks like this. Mine is like pretty scratched already, and you know, you peel it off when you use it. You can roll it more and peel it off. If you're interested, I can film a video for you how I'm making those. But yeah, I really have to change this one. It's just the last paper on this one. But what I'm using, you can see like 240. I even make 3 of those just to have that always on my hands because I use it that much. 400, I really enjoy that now. I don't know, maybe the pieces are telling me to use that because, you know, it sounds like a joke, but actually it does, because when you're using thinner material with sheets or something, you don't want to go and overwhelm it with like hard grit, because you will bend it pretty quickly. You can like take way more material than you wish for. Maybe use 240 all the time, but like take 400 and just like check it if you need that 240, if that makes sense. We have 1000, we have 500. I really enjoy 500 as well. And we have just round one. And I don't even have what kind of grit. Oh, I do have 240. I told you. So these ones are perfect. I love it. Another way how I'm using wet and dry, it is when you're polishing on flex shaft, you can make your own mandrel out of wet and dry paper. I really love it to use it that way because it's really easy. I can even show you this way how easy that is. We will take 400. I'm bending a bit like this because my mandrel is having a big split there. So I want to be like tight there, you know? So we just putting that in and rolling. It's going all the places now, but we will roll it a bit with low speed. And we kind of have almost perfect round wet and dry. I love to use witches, including wet and dry. I love these. Look at that. But about that, we will talk when polishing video will come. All right, I think we are done here. I'm pretty sure I forgot something, like I always do, but you know, more videos to come then. I hope you find it helpful and really can grab some information out of this. It's my pleasure to give you something useful, really. That's why I make my videos. It's the purpose of that. So I hope you like it, and I will see you in my next one.